Hi, how are you doing?
Hey Charles, pretty good.
All right, so who are you?
I'm the president of DART Communications.
Uh-huh.
We've got a suite of internet components that were designed mostly for WinForms environment and ActiveX controls. More recently, we're expanding into the ASP.NET space.
Okay.
And our first product there was an HTML editor, fully configurable using JavaScript and configurable within the design environment.
Mm.
And we learned the lessons from that exercise to develop a new concept that we call live controls.
Mm.
Now, some of your viewers may have read of Whidbey's capability to do lightweight callbacks. And we utilize the same technology only in a 1.0 or 1.1 environment, and it's called xmlhttp. And that allows us to insert data over the HTTP connection,
Mm-hmm.
pick it up on the server, eliminate the postback by canceling that, and then supplying JavaScript back to the client that's executed with execution code that we've already uploaded.
Mm-hmm.
So the technology enables the developer to eliminate a postback, which is the flash on the screen, and control other screen elements on the client by inserting simple code in the event that's raised. And you have some really terrific effects that I want to show you right now.
Fantastic. Let's see them.
So we're going to demonstrate our shipping product here, and I'll start up a new Visual Studio.NET 1.1 project and see if we can't demonstrate a simple effect. We'll do a C# project, ASP.NET application. While this is coming up, we basically duplicated the functionality of the Microsoft button control, for example, and replaced it with a live button. So here I've got a live button right here that will be used to initiate a lightweight callback. And we'll have it manipulate a live image. To now have to look at the live image by browsing for something interesting. Might be some interesting things in there. Need something big though. Let's.
What about your...
In the IDE here, I found something about the person images. Okay, so we'll use this image to start with.
Okay.
And then in order to demonstrate something significantly different, we'll do a second one, live image, and we'll put up second URL here that looks different. Alright. Now we'll want something to occur when the live button is pushed. So what we want to have happen is live image 1 dot visible.
Oh, this side.
Okay. Is equal to live image 1 dot visible, and we'll obviously take the not of that and compile and run. Now we have a free development license, so this product can be used free in loopback mode, and anything you compile can be tested remotely for 7 days. So I press live button, and it caused the JavaScript to be uploaded to the client from the code behind. And the interesting thing is that the second image here does not flicker. And that's the significant thing about this technology. All right, let's get out of this.
So it's not refreshing the whole page. It's
That's
just
right.
replacing the content of one component.
It's not refreshing the whole page.
Yeah.
Which makes you know, your typical web app
Mm-hmm.
look like a web app and not like a Visual Basic app, which you just expect this type of behavior from.
Mm-hmm.
Another very interesting thing we did was provide some additional event functionality available in code behind. So let's take a live text box here, and let's now take a label, a live label, and put it down here. Now let's look at the events for the text box. In a normal in the Microsoft text box, you would have potentially some events here, but nothing like a key press event, for example. So here we'll manipulate code from within the key press event, and we'll say where's my live label one.text is equal to key press noted, and let me figure out if I can do a plus key event args e dot key code dot toString. There might be something
Great.
more cool to do, but
Let's try to turn this.
okay. So now, notice this is not flickering like before.
Mm-hmm.
You press OK, and key press noted 107. That's OK. And other things like this. No flicker. And that's the beauty of this technology.
In other words, you just insert a bunch of JScript
That's right.
and you utilize MSXML's xmlhttp request object.
That's right.
And therefore you'll run on XP 2003, probably. So in other words, you could also use WinHTTP request, but that is only supported for, I think, XP.
Yeah, well, we do actually for cross-browser compatibility reasons. Netscape has a similar object to XML HTTP.
Yeah.
So if we sense that it's a Netscape browser, we'll use that object for sending the data. And if it's doesn't support either of those objects, but it's a browser that supports iframe, such as early versions of IE, we'll use the iframe technique to send and receive the data. And if all else fails, and there is no mechanism in the browser for doing this, then we just fall back to the regular postback. So the developer doesn't have to worry about what type of browser he's operating on. It works in all browsers. In the worst case, it just uses a postback.
Understood. Now, of course, there's a security issue, and you have to make those requests to the same domain, right?
Well,
Or not?
under the hood, HTTP version 1.1 has a persistent connection. So that's what makes a typical connection to a server very responsive. We could connect, and in fact we could connect right now up to my website. And while I do that, I'll talk about the technology here. So here's my home page, and I'm going to take us to close that down. I'm going to take us down to our our product page for live controls where I can reference our samples. And this is a sample running off of my website back at the office. I'm in Seattle right now, and this is back in New York. And we've got a DSL link, nothing fancy, 600 kilobits a second. And we can go to the live comparison. Tremont Falls is a falls near Ithaca, New York. Very beautiful part of New York. And I'll demonstrate how fast this works using live controls. I'm going to select Vert 4. And that image was downloaded in how long would you say?
Quarter of a second, maybe.
Yeah, I mean these aren't buffered anywhere. This is live across the internet. Look what happens using regular technology that we're accustomed to, and the whole thing flashed. So the one on the right was obviously cached, but the one on the left was downloaded, or perhaps not.
Yeah.
But you can see that.
So you make for a much cleaner experience.
Much cleaner experience, and our challenge is to describe that to customers. So.
So now, what helped you enable? So now you created this in Visual Studio.
That's right.
And you basically created a user control.
That's right. There are we took about 16 stock Microsoft controls: the button control, the link control, the link button control. We appended live on them. We derived from them, so we get all the functionality of the original Microsoft control. And then we insert our lightweight client callback technology in the middle, interrupt the postback, and simply deliver the information described in the code behind back up to the client, and it's executed. So it's very straightforward, and these are drop-in. It doesn't require any JavaScript knowledge at all. And the competing technologies like Flash and Java applets are other ways to do this, but they're much more expensive, and you got to know a lot more technology in order to get it right.
That's true. Now, could your controls be extended?
We haven't sealed them. There's no reason why they can't be extended. With Whidbey version 2, there's some new web controls coming out, and we plan on providing lightweight callback support for them too. I was getting to the efficiency at one point with HTTP 1.1. It's a persistent connection, so it's a wonderful side effect of XML HTTP that when we send back data from the client using this technology, it uses the persistent connection. So it's very fast, and the thing that causes the flicker on the browser, which can be very annoying if you're on a slower computer than mine, if you're operating at 1 megahertz or something, and there's a lot of rendering going on. The flash can be pronounced. It can be a quarter of a second, half a second on older systems.
And the great point there is that when you do reload the whole page, you have to save state of all the components on the page, or just do the blind save state that gets built in, which really bulks up your HTML page.
We did a lot of work on that. We did a lot of work on the save state so that state information passed back and forth is minimized, and we manage that.
Fantastic. And you wrote this in C#?
Yeah, we wrote in C#. The concept came to us really 2 years ago when customers asked us how they could put up a progress bar to indicate the length or the progress of an FTP download that they're using our other products for. And that caused us to investigate, well, the dependency on the client initiating such conversations, how we could put a timer in the client to get information off the server, state of a download, for example. And then that caused us to investigate how we could do that without causing the post back, which would cause an entire screen refresh. One thing led to another, and before we knew it, we had 21 controls out there in the market, and the product was released this past Christmas.
Great, and you have a lot of customers?
It's like a hockey stick right now. Okay. We've put our technology up on ASP.NET. and it's on the main page there. Customers are clicking through to downloads at a rate of 50 a day right now.
Fantastic. Great.
So it's a free development environment. It's free to test. It's free to try. We do server-side licensing. So it's not until our web development firm customer has a customer that he's actually delivering our technology to. At that point, the customer pays for the technology, and the web development firm delivers a superior product.
Great. All right. Well, I'm glad that Visual Studio's helped you out a little bit.
Well, that's great, and it's been a great week here, and we love to be here.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for giving us your time.
Thanks.